Hi, we're the Cowboy Brothers.
This is Season 2, Episode 6, titled Edna's Freedom.
Well, what if the attacker is 2 times my size?
Well, that's when your adrenaline kicks in and you need to overpower your attacker no matter the size. But with you being on top of the class, you had no problem. If anything, I feel sorry for whoever messes with you.
Thanks, Teach. Let's hope it never comes to that.
You're right. We hope we'd never have to use this in life, but I believe in you.
Well, I need to head to Rent-A-Flick before they close in 15 minutes. I want to rent Disco with Wolves again.
Isn't that your 10th time? Maybe you should just buy the VHS?
Yeah, I know. That's what my sister says all the time. But I'll see you next class.
Okay, fighter. Better hurry.
Glad I can finally put a face to the killer.
Yeah, those drawings never looked like me. They couldn't even get my nose right.
No, I think they nailed it.
You see, I heard your little interview on the radio, Mr. Famous Private Investigator. How many more interviews do you still have to do? I won't want you to miss any of them.
One and done if you ask me. But if you hand over Edna, I'll be on my way.
You think it's going to be that easy?
I was kinda hoping so.
Well, Mr. Shirley No Dice,
Then how come Edna was added to your list?
Joe John is responsible for me going after her. He was so embarrassed about his one little push-up that he wanted her to disappear, so it was just the name that was added to my list. Nothing personal.
Just the name, huh? Were the others the same way? Nothing personal?
Let's just say they happened to be in the wrong area at the right time. But none of them were ever personal.
Is that what you think to make yourself feel better? Huh?
Enough. Let's focus on the present. You see this?
The strangler holds what looks to be a needle with something in it.
What's in there?
Oh, just a little adrenaline. I like my victims to be awake when I start.
So that's how you do it, huh? You're a monster.
I'm not a monster. I just have an itch.
I need to get that shot away from him somehows. Not a fever, cause I know a cure for that. It's more cowbell.
What?
Nothing. So I still stand with you being a monster.
Well, it doesn't matter. The two of you won't be able to tell anyone anything. And this other needle, this makes you lose your motor skills.
The strangler was too occupied with looking at his needle and not at Sherbert anymore. Sherbert took his opportunity to reach for his .38 and pointed it at the strangler.
Hold it right there. Put the needles down.
Are you sure you want to go down this road?
Yeah, I think I kinda do. Prepare yourself.
The strangler turned to put the needles down on the table next to the chair he was sitting in. He turned back to face Sherbert, and doing so he kicked the .38 out from Sherbert's hand. The gun flew across the room, and Sherbert launched toward the strangler, tackling him to the ground. The two wrestled for a bit before separating and getting to their feet. Sherbert reached into his pocket and pulled out a pouch. The strangler picked up one of the needles and lunged toward Sherbert. Just then, Sherbert threw some corn pollen into the strangler's eyes, blinding him. Sherbert wound up his fist and delivered a powerful right hook across the strangler's face. He stumbles back, falling over a nearby table. Sherbert turns to Edna and starts to untie her. Edna looks up at Sherbert, and his face looked to be in pain. The strangler stabbed him in the back.
In 30 seconds, you won't be able to do anything.
That's okay. 30 seconds is plenty of time.
Sherbert turns toward the strangler and continues the fight, pushing him back again. He lands another punch, stunning the strangler for a bit. Sherbert runs for the other needle, hoping that it may counter the poison. He starts to feel the effects of the first shot. Before it fully kicks in, he turns toward Edna and stabs her with the adrenaline. Edna feels a rush in her.
Hey, Edna. Betty said, kick him in there, Chi.
Sherbert went limp, but still feels conscious. Edna kneels down near him to check and moved him to his side. The strangler stumbled to his feet, and Edna stood up and turned to face him. She stood there, filled with anger and adrenaline. Her fingers curled into a tight, trembling fist, knuckles bleaching white, ready to strike. She sprinted toward the strangler, launching forward with a flying knee to the chest, knocking back the strangler against the wall. The strangler turns to his signature move and wraps his hands around Edna's neck. She shoots her arms up, drives it down on top of the strangler's arms, breaking his grip on her neck. She throws a punch after punch, each one hitting harder than the one before. The strangler manages to land a punch, causing Edna to take a few steps back. Edna, out of breath, looks at the strangler, shakes off the punch, and charges back at him. The strangler, ready this time, used Edna's momentum against her and throws her to the side, crashing into the table. The strangler, moving forward toward her, reaches down to pick her up. Edna allows him to pick her up, but just as he got her to her feet, she swung a bottle of Garden Deluxe Select with all of her might at the strangler's head, knocking him out cold. Sirens can be heard approaching the house, and a sigh of relief overcomes Edna. She moves over to where Sherbert laid and helped him to his feet. The poison seems to be wearing off, but Sherbert still doesn't have control of his limbs. They walk to the door and down the steps.
Did you hit him with a bottle?
Yeah, I think it was the bottle of Garden Deluxe Select.
Oh, dang it. That was mine.
The police car pulls up, and Edna waved them over to help. One officer runs over to help with Sherbert, while the others run past into the house. A car pulls up with Betty inside. She gets out, runs to her sister. She gives Edna a big hug and is happy to be reunited with her sister once again.
You know, Betty, I am not dating anyone that can do only one push-up.
Betty and Edna both laugh. Boom! Sherbert's truck explodes, a final gift from the Shiprock Strangler.
Oh man, my truck. First my Garden Deluxe, now this? Oh man.
Good evening, Doyat. One of the Shiprock Strangler's captive has been rescued and looks to be unharmed and will make a full recovery. However, the Shiprock Strangler is still at large down there. He was not at the scene when the latest victim was rescued. Police say he most likely escaped out the back door when they arrived. They followed his foot tracks to the paved road and were unsure which direction he could have gone. Stay safe and stay vigilant, Dunkitchna.
Here's a teaser for season 3.
They're gonna fire me, huh? Me! The only educated engine that actually does any work at the travel office. Well. They are going to pay big. Because this will light a spark in them. Hold on to your lug nuts. When that final buzzer hits, everyone will explode. With excitement, just like I am right now. Stay tuned.
The crisis of missing and murdered women and relatives, MMIWR, is not new. For centuries, Native women have experienced a spectrum of violence. On some reservations, Native women face murder rates more than 10 times the national average. These disappearances and murders are often directly connected to domestic violence, dating violence, sexual assault, stalking, and sex trafficking. In response, grassroots movements have grown at local, regional, national, and international levels, honoring the lives of MMIWR and demanding justice. Please visit websites like the National Indigenous Women's Resource Center at www.niwrc.com and the Coalition to Stop Violence Against Native Women at www.csvanw.org. Together, we spread awareness and stop violence against Native women.
This is a work of fiction. Unless otherwise indicated, all the names, characters, business, places, events, and incidents in this story are either a product of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely accidental.
Hey, Mr. Sherwin, your membership at Renafleck has been canceled. Hope you enjoyed Disco with Wolves.
Well, I guess I know what I'm watching tonight. I wonder if there's leftover Chinese food.